A seismic shift in UK foreign policy is on the horizon, as Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer prepares to unveil a bold stance that could redefine decades of diplomatic tradition. Sources close to the government confirm that Starmer will formally declare the UK's recognition of a Palestinian state later today, a decision that has already sparked fierce debate, outrage, and even calls for introspection within the British political landscape. But here's where it gets controversial. This move isn't just a symbolic gesture. It's a direct response to what ministers describe as an untenable humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and a breakdown in the two-state solution framework that has long underpinned Middle East peace talks. The roots of this decision trace back to July, when Starmer set a clear deadline. Unless Israel agreed to a ceasefire in Gaza and committed to a sustainable peace deal, the UK would adjust its position by September. That ultimatum now appears to have been met, or more accurately, ignored. Government officials argue that the time for incremental diplomacy has passed, citing worsening conditions in Gaza, where starvation and violence have reached intolerable levels. And Israel's recent ground operation in Gaza City has been labeled cataclysmic by UN officials. Over 64,000 lives have been lost in Israeli strikes since October 2023, according to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry, a figure that has only intensified calls for action. Yet, this isn't merely about humanitarian concerns. The UK's decision is also a pointed rebuke of Israel's settlement expansion in the West Bank, which Prime Minister Netanyahu and his allies have long dismissed as legal and legitimate. Justice Secretary David Lammy, who spearheaded the July announcement, highlighted the E1 settlement project as a death knell for the two-state solution. Critics warn that E1, a plan to expand Israeli settlements into a key corridor of the West Bank, would fragment Palestinian territory so severely that a contiguous, sovereign state would become impossible. This isn't just about politics, Lammy stated. It's about ensuring there's still a chance for peace. And this is the part most people miss. The UK's recognition is symbolic, not operational. Palestine currently has no internationally agreed borders, no capital, and no military. Recognizing it as a state won't change the ground reality overnight. But for the Labour Party, which has championed this cause for decades, the move is about sending a message. This is a moment of maximum impact, Starmer declared in July. The two-state solution is under threat. We must act. Not everyone agrees. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has condemned the decision as a reward for terror, while hostage families have begged Starmer to delay the announcement until the remaining 48 captives, 20 of whom are believed alive, are freed. In an open letter, they argued that the UK's move has dramatically complicated efforts to bring home our loved ones, noting that Hamas has already hailed the decision as a victory. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch echoed these concerns in The Telegraph, writing that recognizing Palestine without the release of hostages would embolden extremists. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump, during his recent UK visit, dismissed the idea outright, declaring, "I disagree with recognition." The debate extends beyond borders. While Portugal, France, Canada, and Australia have joined the UK in pledging recognition, others question the timing and conditions. Chief Rabbi Sir Ephraim Mirvis has called for the government to pause, arguing that recognition should be contingent on a functioning Palestinian government and the release of hostages. The current conditions are not just insufficient. They're dangerously one-sided, he said. Government sources, however, insist their demands for Hamas to release hostages and agree to a ceasefire remain unchanged. Statehood is a right of the Palestinian people, one official explained. It cannot be held hostage by a terrorist organization. As the world watches, one question lingers. Is this a pragmatic step toward peace, or a reckless provocation that risks deepening the divide? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe symbolic recognition can pave the way for real progress, or does it risk alienating key stakeholders in the peace process? Share your perspective in the comments below.